Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of our submarine build. We're going to continue the progress as always. In this one, we are going to be working on an escape pod, which I've never built a submarine, admittingly, so I've also never had to build a submarine escape pod. It took me a couple tries, and honestly, I completely redo it later on. I just don't like how this ends up looking. It does function correctly, and you can definitely kind of just follow along and do the same thing with your own build if you'd like. I just don't like how it looks, so later on I'll change it around and whatnot, but it's going to function the same, and it'll obviously look a lot different, but it's going to be in the same exact spot on the sub too and whatnot, so we won't really worry about that yet. But I saw this empty spot on the sub, and the inside of this thing's just got a lot more room than I thought it would, so I just kind of figured that this would be a fun little thing to sneak in there, and it's a fun little play feature, and why not? It's fun, so why not? But yeah, we'll get right into the build here in a few seconds. I just want to quick say thank you so much for the support lately. The sub series has been doing great, so thank you guys very much. You guys have been killing it, and if you want to see more, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. It lets me know to keep making these videos for you, and yeah, thank you very much. Alright, so you guys are going to see me play around quite a bit with these door frames, and if you didn't know, they're quite useful in Stormworks. They can seal off a compartment from one another without the door actually being there, as long as the frame is complete. So I'm essentially using these to seal off a space above that the pod can release from, and what I'm trying to do is make this open without it leaking water. There's a few different ways you can do this. My first attempt, I had stated previously, this took me a couple tries, so my first attempt, it does not work. It does leak through the door hatch, and later on we solved this by putting another door hatch on the roof. So if you're wondering why I use those, a lot of times it's for the aesthetics. I think they look very nice. They're if you can add detail with blocks and not paint blocks, it's good to use. But you can see right here, obviously it's not working. It's flooding the hull, so that's not going to work for us. We got to completely redesign it. But I do like the this idea of kind of entering it from below. The space directly in front of the escape pod there, kind of on the upper half of this empty hull, is going to be a crew cabin. So the likelihood of you needing to get into the escape pod from the crew cabin is, I won't lie, it is pretty high, but at the same time, I find it much more important for the people in the front with the glass to be able to get out of the escape pod or the submarine as quick as possible. So you're most likely going to be driving it most of the time, and if not, you're probably going to be on that lower deck. So that was the idea with that. It's going to be easier to enter from the lower deck than have to climb up a ladder to get into the escape pod. All right, so why don't we hop in this thing one more time and test it out? And you can see I kind of give up on that door hatch idea for now. That'll come back later when I redo the escape pod. But right now we're just using sealed hatch. There's two of them. There's one on the submarine side and then one on the escape pod side. And one of the reasons that I wanted to change this was because it was tricky to get in there between the two doors. So the later on design, it'll only be one door. It's a lot easier to get in and out of the escape pod. And also, while we're talking, might as well say, yeah, there's rockets on the side of this. Those are not going to be there when it's done. This is just so I can get the deeper water quicker. In between the recording, I'm in and out of driving this thing quite a bit, and so I just strapped some rockets onto it. The water where I'm working right now is pretty shallow, and honestly, it's pretty shallow in most of the workspaces. So, yeah, it's fun. We're just kind of speeding out to sea right now, so see if we can take flight real quick. Yeah, a little bit. Not too much control. Probably could turn it into an airplane with more controls because of Stormworks, but yeah. So we're just gonna, go out to deeper water and essentially just hop in the escape pod and see if it works. That's all it really is. So. Okay, so we're out to deeper water finally. Just a quick little cut for you guys. You didn't need to watch that, but yeah. So you can see the water is still leaking into the submarine, and again, there's a lot of flaws with this escape pod, so it does get redone. But we're gonna go ahead and test it real quick, and just kind of launch up to the surface. And it looks like it's all going well so far. I just want to see if it balances correctly once it's at the surface, so the people inside aren't kind of just rolling around and getting tumbled around like they're in one of those inflatable balls. But yeah, it looks like it's not too bad. Probably could add a little bit more weight to the bottom there. It also, it's dependent on where people are sitting. For some reason, and I don't understand this, but in Stormworks, when you sit in a seat, it has a different buoyancy than when nobody's sitting in the seat, even if it's in a sealed compartment. So there's that. If you didn't know that, it's kind of strange, but it is a part of the game. So. Alright, so I have respawned the sub yet again. So we're going to go and test the escape pod one more time. I got the afterburners on. We're going to go to deeper water quick, but I made a few tweaks to the escape pod off camera. I changed some of the weights around, and I added a delay to the flare, and hopefully this just kind of makes it seem a lot smoother, and I want it to float a little bit better on the surface. So we'll see how that goes, but that just about wraps it up for this one. Oh, look at that. Great air. Let's see if I smash into the ground. Nope, not quite. All right, well, where was I? Yeah, so thank you guys all so much for the support on the build lately. I really appreciate that, and I'm going to keep these videos coming, and if you enjoy them, please do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel out, and really kind of lets me know to keep making these videos for you guys. I make these creations because I want you guys to play with them and enjoy it and enjoy Stormworks. So yeah, it's all for you guys, and thank you very much, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.